Okay, so let's say that you're late to work. You decide to speed, drive crazy, and overtake people. No problem. It's normal for you. You do it all the time. But say you find it's actually an unmarked police car. Now it's different. Now you start to reflect and regret. This is the first part of fear of the Lord. This is the beginning of wisdom, recognizing exactly who God is and his true authority, and how we undermine that authority. Announce this to the descendants of Jacob, and proclaim it to Judah. Hear this, you foolish and senseless people, who have eyes but do not see, and ears but do not hear. Should you not fear me, declares the Lord? Should you not tremble in my presence? I made the sand a boundary for the sea, an everlasting barrier cannot cross. The waves may roll, but they cannot prevail. They may roar, but they cannot cross it. Jeremiah 5, verses 20 to 22. The ox knows its master, the donkey its owner's manager, but Israel does not know. My people do not understand. Isaiah 1, verse 3. So, because, as the verse says, we're foolish and senseless people, we do not know the authority of God. Here, God shows that even the sea has boundaries that it cannot cross because God set those boundaries. Yet we cross boundaries every day because we do not have the wisdom. And when you have wisdom, you fear the Lord. You understand his authority and his power. Okay, so another analogy. You're a cashier. A customer is disputing an order. You think you're in the right, so you're ready to defend your position. But then you see this person has a gun. You're really not ready to lose your life over food or anything so little. So you humble yourself and you just concede to them. This, again, is the fear of the Lord and the beginning of wisdom. Once authority is recognized, consequences come next. There are people today that argue with God. Okay? This is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats and wipes her mouth and says, I've done nothing wrong. Proverbs 30:20. There's a community of gay Christians. They argue with God all day. They deny what the Bible clearly states. They think they can tell God, who decides what sin is, that what he says is sin is actually not sin. So they argue with God. Okay, so they have no fear of the Lord. They have no wisdom. Just like the analogy where you don't want to lose your life over something so silly like food, that's what it's like to lose eternity over anything in this world. Everything in this world, compared to God, is garbage, is trash. Okay? And do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Matthew 10:28. So, the final part of fear of the Lord is sorrow. Once you recognize God's power and authority and the consequences of going against that authority, you then come to terms of who God is to you. So let's go back to the first analogy. Let's say the unmarked cop pulls you over and he explains to you that he's actually seen you all year driving like this multiple times, but he chose to let you go. This is what God does. All our lives, we are being evil, and he has mercy on us. Not only that, but everything we have but don't deserve, he gave to us. So while we were completely disregarding and disrespecting God, he was taking care of us. He's making sure that we had food. He's making sure that we had clothes. He's making sure that we're safe. So it's kind of like if you had a generous, dedicated, and loving spouse, and you just constantly cheat on them. And then one day you're forced to recognize your behavior in comparison to theirs. you'll literally be embarrassed. You'll be in so much pain because you wouldn't be able to fathom how you could have done and treated someone that was so good to you and only loved you and took care of you so horribly, so terribly, for absolutely no reason. This is repentance. Then, when I make atonement for you, for all you have done, you will remember and be ashamed and never again open your mouth because of your humiliation, declares the sovereign Lord. Ezekiel 16, verse 63.